Hello, Ben.
Hello.
This isn't Cockermouth.
No, it's not.
No, it's not
I'm
Cockermouth.
just.
This is well, nowhere in Europe yet. We're playing Euro Truck Simulator today. Not just Euro Truck Simulator, Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Oh.
Ooh. We're starting a new game. So what we basically need to, Ben, is we need to quickly enter a few of these details. So I'm going to ask you to pick which picture you want.
Oh, easily second from the right at the bottom.
Him.
The old depressed. Yes.
Okay, there are more.
No, I've chosen.
You don't want to keep looking at the.
I've
In
chosen.
my other game, I've gone with this one because it looks an awful lot like one of the lads.
It looks a bit like you.
It looks more like one of the lads. Preferred truck design. I am going to pick that one because I like the. I don't even know what the bloody. It's a Renault. Okay. Is there a Scania? Oh, there's a Scania. I'll go with that one. Company logo. We're going to just pick an easy one. And I have already decided what our company name is going to be.
Okay.
Not
Not
a
a front.
front. Okay.
Not a front. What are we actually shipping?
Don't know.
Are we human traffickers? Is that it? It's getting dark.
This is us. We are about to start the game. I'm going to use keyboard because that's what I've got. Going to do it in automatic because I can't be asked. Finish a wizard. Right then. It didn't ask me where we wanted to start. I don't think, which means that that's something we get to decide as well. I'll let you decide, Ben, where we start.
Lovely.
Aren't I good to you?
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. We can't. It's not in Europe, you daft bastard.
Malaysia.
Malaysia. That's also not in Europe. Sometimes I think your common sense ain't even in Europe. Right, pick which city. No, don't.
Well,
So we've got. I won't let me zoom out anymore. So pick an area of
why
Europe
can't we start in Ireland?
because it's not. It won't let us.
Racist bastards. I
We could
suppose it's
start
because there's
in.
no way
Start
the
in
mainland, is
London.
there?
We could do. Oh, you can get ferries.
Well, our guy looks a bit like a pervy Dutchman.
So you want to start in? Shall we say Rotterdam?
What's the one? The other one, not Amsterdam. The other one.
Groningen. We could be Rotterdam or anywhere. Liverpool or
I wager they all look the
Rome.
same. So
We
let's
do
start in let's start
Rotterdam.
Rotterdam.
Alright. Confirm selection. Nope. I don't need a tutorial. I know what I'm doing. So we are a Rotterdam based haulage company known as
Not a front.
not a
Not a
front.
front haulage.
We are currently transporting fish fingers from Rotterdam to Rotterdam for 363 euros.
We're not though, are we?
That is the
We're
job.
not. We're not transporting fish fingers. We're transporting Vietnamese orphan kidneys or something.
What, from Rotterdam to Rotterdam? That's a very short journey. This is
Well,
it gets you to do like a tester one, which I can't remember what the bloody view button is. I should have looked at the tutorial. Bear with. I have a very particular view that I like to use. Options, gameplay. No, not gameplay. It was controls. What am I doing? Just want to see how to change for view. Next camera, 9. Chasing camera, top down camera. Roof camera is my go-to, I think. I think it's that one.
Oh,
Uh,
I've stumbled upon an autopsy report. Remember Kobe Bryant?
yeah.
Okay, well his autopsy report is pretty graphic. God, he really got messed up in that crash.
I'll tell you what, I can't hear the game, which is not helpful because I could hear it before. I'm not. You know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna have to go without game sound. Which means we need to talk, Ben. We need to talk as much as we can.
So okay, let's have a look at this. Blunt trauma of head, multiple lacerations, multiple fracture, evisceration of brain,
Jesus.
blunt trauma of chest and abdomen.
That'll put you off your dinner.
Missing brain, grapefruit-sized hole in head, missing extremities, degloved penis,
Why would anyone take his brain?
exposed fractured spine. It was a that was
Oh look, Ben, we've nearly finished our first job.
yeah, we did it. See you next time.
What do we? How do we want to do this? Let's do it properly. He wants us to park it there. Should we do that, or should we get it to just do it for us?
Up to you.
Uh,
You get more experience if you park it.
yeah, it's true. You do get more experience if you park it, but also then you have to actually park it, which that's probably isn't that much of a surprise to you. Right, we have to do the thing that we say we're going to do. Not being able to hear it is actually a bit off-putting. Oh shit, that was close. Turbo King.
Break it.
I'm not going to break it. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Not being able to hear it means I can't hear the engine going, which is quite off-putting to me.
Well,
here,
this continues a theme we had of games that Yahtzee Crowshaw has played.
Oh, has he played this one?
But let's drown out.
Oh, okay.
Well, he did. I think he did the first one.
First one's shit. I played that one for a while. And I did not get on with it.
Let's see what else he played, because I'm pretty sure we've done another one. I mean, there's Half-Life, which we'll probably do.
Oh my god, Ben, this is going in almost perfect. Well, it was until I started talking.
Minecraft, he did Minecraft.
Oh, well, he'd have to do Minecraft, wouldn't he? Let's be honest.
Viscera cleanup detail he did.
How did he get on with it?
It was fine. He did one level that we haven't done. He did Oregon Trail.
Oh, I tell you what, I would not be invited back to an Asda depot, that's for sure.
No, not since they killed your nan. Rest in peace.
Oh, you know what? I fucking did it, though. There we go. We consumed 1.6 litres and it took us 10 minutes to drive 1 kilometre. Lovely stuff. So now we have to find a job for ourselves. And I'm very quickly going to sort out the bloody sound because it's... Oh, this is our headquarters. I did tell it not to do the thing. Oh, yeah, we don't own a truck.
We're not.
No, we are we are a driver. So we can go from, well, anywhere to anywhere, really.
Right.
So we could, you know what, fuck it, hang on a sec, bear with. Okay, so we sorted the sound out. Whew.
Hello.
Ben, what we can do is we're not, we're like an agency driver at this point, so we take a job from a depot and we can go to anywhere. So what he wants us to go to. So at this exact moment in time, it's sorted by price. So the one that would give us the most money, most raw money as it is right now, would be Rotterdam to Manchester, including getting the ferry across, which we could do, but it's a little bit less money for quite a lot less time if we just go to Lille in France instead. So we're going to do that one.
Okay, you're the boss.
You're the apprentice in the passenger seat. It probably shouldn't be there because of taco violation rules. Do you know what a taco is?
No, I do not.
Of course you don't.
You?
Yep.
Cool.
You don't want to piss off Vosu, I'll tell you that much. This is the game that I was listening to the radio on way back when, and I would put the radio on, but for the fact that they would be playing music and we would be so copyrighted.
I think it's a good game for that.
It is. I sort of plan on getting back into it so I can listen to my audiobooks again. I might do that tomorrow while stuff's.
Well,
busy.
speaking of books,
Oh, go on.
I'm reading one.
Oh my god, you're actually reading a book?
Well, yeah, I read books like every fucking day.
You should be paying attention to this.
Would you like to know what book I'm currently reading?
Yes, sure. Tell me.
It's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh, by Jules
And
Verne.
yes,
Hang on.
and I'm enjoying it. And it's I've gotten to the bit where they're on the Nautilus and they've met Nemo, and he's about to speak to the main character a bit more about his life. It's surprisingly funny. Honestly,
Jesus Christ!
you silly bitch! What are you?
He didn't. He stopped. He stopped in the middle of a fucking road.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Is that the Rosas?
No, it's because we've been fined for. For God's sake, he did. He stopped right in the middle. He was going straight over. Why did he stop?
Wait, we need your insurance information.
We just paid him 80 euros and we've called it a day.
That was your fault.
I don't think I indicated. Anyway.
There you go.
Yeah, that's probably not the best idea. No,
Yeah, it is.
We're speeding now.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
There we go.
You are. It is a surprisingly funny book in places.
Yeah.
Which I didn't expect. Yeah. I'll see if I can find a couple of examples at this early stage. Bear with.
Whilst you do that, I did listen to Tim Curry reading. What was it? Journey to the Centre of the Earth. Early on in my audiobook era. Which is another bit of slang, isn't it? Modern day slang.
What?
Era. Using era to describe like people's.
Oh, this is my era.
Yeah.
This is my. I'm doing really well at this moment in time.
This is my audiobook era.
Yeah. There's a funny bit. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. This is the bit where they've been. You're not going to laugh at this, but it is technically funny. I found it. I got a little chuckle out of it. Because I didn't expect much humour in this book. One member of the crew, and they're in the Nautilus, and they're debating what sort of people have them. And Ned Land, who is the harpooner of the ship that they were from, says, "My opinion is already formed. They are rascals." Well, and of what country? And his reply is, "Of rascaldom." My worthy Ned, that country is not yet sufficiently indicated on the map of the world, and I acknowledge that the nationality of these two men is difficult to determine. It gave me a little tickle, that.
Oh, I'm pleased.
There's lots of little things like that which I quite like. I suspect it's largely because I didn't expect them to find little things like that. There's been 3 or 4 so far.
Well, hopefully there is much more of that for you to be amused by, to titillate you in the time that comes.
I was a little titillated. Yeah, it's I am enjoying it so far. The chapters are terribly short, which I suppose is an indication of the period it was written in. But I think that's helpful because you feel like you're making more progress than you actually are. But I like it, and I'm quite keen to continue. I don't read too much fiction, but watch it. But
he turned into us. We're crossing a border here, Ben. Do you know how easy this is to cross this border? We're crossing into Belgium right now, or at least that's what we just did there. And look how easy it was.
Yeah.
No border stops at all. We didn't have to do anything. Just wait till we go to Eastern Europe.
All these maps probably look exactly the fucking same, don't they?
I tell you what, actually, you'd be surprised by the differences that you will notice. I am leaving it a bit. I do. How can I put it? Some of these journeys get quite long.
Yeah.
I have genuinely done journeys in this game that have taken me 4 hours of real time to do. So I don't foresee us ever doing that.
That does sound relaxing.
It can be. I used to pop a stream on for the lads, and we'd all sit and chat, and I'd drive along, and we'd have a radio on.
Mm.
the in-game radio that someone actually creates because they fucking produce it properly. You know,
Yeah, this is a game for obsessive weirdos.
I spent 60 hours playing this over a space of about 2-3 weeks.
Mm.
So yeah, it's obsessive weirdos. I got really into it for a while.
Mm.
Started in Switzerland. One thing you will notice, something I quite like actually, is annoying but I like it. You know the map. You can see the map in the bottom right of the sat nav.
Yeah.
And you can't see it too well on this side of a road, but the bit that we've not driven on is grey. The bit that we have driven on is orange, or yellowy orange.
Mm.
And that's persistent across the entire save. So everywhere that we drive becomes orange, and it tracks how much of each country and therefore how much of you have you driven on.
Mm.
The only downside, or one of the downsides, is that the various entrances that you have to say Spaghetti Junction, just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of ways onto Spaghetti Junction, and it might count the roundabout, or like part of the junction itself as one, but you'd have to go through it once for every entrance / exit. So you could clear off 2 at a time, but you're probably not going to clear off 2 every time, which means you'll have to go through it so many fucking times to deal with it. This one that's coming up, actually, you'll see it because we've got a big junction coming up. So as far as it's concerned, we've done this stretch, this entrance and exit, right?
Yeah.
But we're not touching that one to the left, which means we're going to have to go down there. But we've also not done the slip road, which means we'll have to do the slip road that leads down there as well. So there's a lot of, if you ever wanted to fill up the map, there's a hell of a lot of driving to do. I think I completed Switzerland when I was playing it before, because I made a concerted effort to complete Switzerland, and I started there. So it seemed sensible to indicate. I'm just going to go for it.
Would you like another topic?
Yep.
How familiar are you with the So Bad It's Good movie, The Room?
It's very strange because I was actually thinking about this recently, and I don't know. I think I saw someone on a roof on a TV show or a film or something, and I thought, no, that's not right. I did not do that. I didn't do it. Oh, hi, Mark.
Yes.
It's
not true. I didn't hear that. That's bullshit. I did not hear that.
Oh, hi, Mark.
That's true. She's lying.
It's the film that's so bad.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I know it's a film that's so bad that they made a film about making the film.
Yes, there's a book that came out called The Disaster Artist, which I read. I thought it was good, and they made an adaptation of that. It's a film. For those of you who don't know, The Room. Well, it was originally, when it came out, it was presented as a drama. After the reaction to it, its creator Tommy Wiseau turned tack and said, "No, it was meant to be a dark comedy." This is exactly the sort of reaction I anticipated, which isn't true. Tommy Wiseau is a very mysterious, enigmatic figure who's sort of weird and probably European. Seems very like a nice man, like a fairly likable. He is a likable figure. I like Tommy Wiseau, the big weirdo. He made money somewhere, nobody's quite sure where, and he really wanted to be an actor. He idolized Marlon Brando, but he's terrible at it. And he Oh,
hi, Mark.
Well, strictly speaking, he's not actually that bad in the right hands. It's just that there's like very few hands that are right. The way you're talking about it, my mind immediately went to Rebecca Black. Do you remember Rebecca Black? Yeah, Friday.
Yeah, the girl who wanted to be a pop star, and her parents paid for her to have a song, and it got released, and it was fucking awful. But actually, since then, she's become something a bit more tangible as an artist. I mean, she was fucking featured on a Katy Perry song, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like that. Like I watched a YouTube video about him, and he was on a Tim and Eric sketch. And apparently they knew how to play his stuff, so it worked. The very little I saw of it seemed all right. But The Room is about a man called Tommy, played by Tommy Wiseau, who works in a bank and is engaged to a lady called
That's a weird name for a lady.
Lisa. Not 3 times, just Lisa. And
Lisa.
He has this friend called Mark, and Lisa is bored and jaded and has an affair with Mark. and Tommy finds out about it and shoots himself.
Himself.
Yeah, and
Right, and he didn't touch her.
they're all terribly sad at the end. It's supposed to be a hard-hitting drama. Of course, it was met with
Ridicule.
ridicule. Yeah,
And rightly so, from what
yeah.
little of it I've seen.
I have a feeling I've seen it, but I can't remember watching it.
Oh, crossing another border here. Just so,
Oh,
like, that's Belgium, and this is France.
okay.
As helped by that sign that said France.
I watch it. I
I'm watching it. I got my
I
eyes
may
on the road.
I may watch it again at some point. But Tommy Wiseau has made a bit of a living out of it. Not, I mean, apparently he got big into fashion and he owns a lot of property before he made the room because it cost $6 million to make and he put up all the money for it.
Well, I mean, in that case, it can be as bad as it wants to be, right? He's not fucked anyone over to make it, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is the lowest. I mean, it is, in that case, it made like a little over $1,000 at the box office. But I don't think that was the point. And you know, good for him for doing what he's making his dream come true. Even though he's a little litigious with copyright things for various things, documentaries and YouTube
How
stuff.
else is he going to make his money?
But yeah, he does like midnight screenings and everything, and he, you know, introduces the film and he answers. Well, I say he answers questions. He doesn't answer personal questions. He's very, as I say, very enigmatic and very
He
closely
sounds
guarded.
like a Lille bastard.
Hmm.
Oh look, we're at a roundabout in Lille.
Yes. But the reason I mention it, I stumbled upon this in that documentary I watched. You know Bob Odenkirk?
Yes, I'm familiar with Bob Odenkirk.
Apparently, there's a remake in the works, starring Bob Odenkirk as Tommy, and they're gonna.
Hang on. I'm suddenly worried that Bob Odenkirk might not be the guy that I think he is. He's Saul, isn't he? Saul Goodman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So the gist of this, from what I gather, they're remaking it. It's like a sort of creative experiment to see if actual skilled actors can make this work. You know, how does this look? How does this play in the hands of people who know what they're doing? You know, not amateur actors.
And
but
he's got some chops, hasn't he?
Yeah. Which I think is a really interesting idea. My only real concern is that a lot of the cast aren't really. You know, if you're gonna do it, fucking do it. You know, let's get as big a names as you can possibly get on this little passion project thing. You know, it could be interesting.
It could be. I'm not sure I'm going to watch it, but I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to watch half the things I plan to watch either. So it's only because I'm setting it myself. Oh God, what have I done? I was facing the wrong way. Reversing is very difficult. I don't really understand how the professionals do it, and I work with them. Right? In my day job, I work at a haulage company, as you well know, and as the reviewer now well knows. And obviously, I don't work in a lorry because, well, you wouldn't want me to. Looking at that, would you?
No.
I mean, to be fair, I just made it easier for me to. Excellent. Apparently, even though I crashed it. Have we leveled up? We've leveled up, Ben. Hooray! We get to do extra things. We'll come back to it in a sec. So, for example, what we can do is we can take on a different class of product, or we can do bigger deliveries, or we can do higher value deliveries. The thing that I tend to go to when I've got my own truck is fuel saving, because then that's less money that you need to spend. But we're going to do long distance on this case because it's an excuse for us to do a longer job, but it might see us to the end. No, I'm not taking out a loan. I've got enough bloody loans. Right, carry on. So we're making it. Have they got any other names attached to it yet?
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I don't know whether you recognise any of these. I've looked into it, and some of them are attached to projects I'm familiar with. Bella Heathcote, for example, was in Neighbours.
Yeah, no, that's not one I'm familiar with. But
in 2009, which is after the point I stopped watching it, and she was in the 2012 Dark Shadows film. Greg Sestero, who played Mark in the original film and wrote The Disaster Artist, is going to be playing the part of Chris R., who's a drug dealer who threatens a young Denny. Oh shit, man. The guy who's playing Denny is the survivor of a mass shooting.
Is that their only claim to fame, or?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is the exit on this? Oh, it's not one of these where I've got to go through the bloody arch, is it? We're driving back to Rotterdam because it was the best job for us.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of big names attached to this, but I would be really interested to watch this. When's it coming out? Okay, there is no set release date. So yeah, what do you know? Any other So Bad It's Good movies? Famous So Bad It's Good movies?
Well, I think a lot of people would consider Rocky Horror to be like that. Because I wouldn't necessarily say that it's that good a movie, but it's still got cult status, and I do enjoy watching it. But part of my enjoying watching it is the fact that it's quite tacky.
I just want to step in here. Yes, screw, and just say that Woody Woodpecker's popped up again. Apparently, Woody Woodpecker was Stanley Kubrick's favorite cartoon character.
Oh, really?
A reference to a previous topic. Yeah, Rocky Horror.
Video.
Yeah.
Go back and watch that one if you haven't already. And
yeah,
don't lie, we know you haven't.
Yeah.
You're not watching this one. Ben's not watching this one.
I am. You're in a yellow truck.
No, I'm not. I'm in a blue truck pulling a yellow trailer.
It's all the same to me.
Not
yeah.
because you're a pleb. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a civilian. Get off the road.
There's Birdemic, of course.
Birdemic?
Yeah, well, it's the one where birds go fucking nuts.
Would the Piranha films count?
Birds. Yeah.
Because the Piranha films, I mean, I've only seen one of them, and it's the one where they made a point of there being lots of breasts in it.
Was that Piranha 3 Double D?
That is the one. How did you know? But like, clearly the first two are really bad, right? It managed to get enough following that they managed to make a third one out of it.
Do you know that series is a remake of a Piranha series that came out in like the 70s or 80s?
Is it really?
Yes, there was a Piranha 2, the original Piranha 2. They had wings, flying piranha, and one of the quotes on the DVD was the best flying piranha film ever made. He's like, yeah, you got a point there. Yeah, I think things like Birdemic and
Sharknado.
Sharknado. I think. Well, it's hardly controversial, but I think the secret to a So Bad It's Good movie is that they're not trying to be bad. Because Sharknado is kind of trying to be schlocky. Whereas something like The Room is genuinely trying to be a highbrow art, a highbrow drama.
See, I think it could go either way. I think you've got to take it 100% serious, or you've got to really lean into how bad it's going to be.
No, I sort of disagree with that. I think if you do that, you can end up with something that seems a bit... I mean, maybe that can work, but I certainly think the best examples of So Bad It's Good are things that, are sincere and genuinely trying to be good. And it goes the other way.
Why the hell are we driving at 60 fucking kilometres an hour on this road? Why is that the speed limit?
I don't know.
I would speed, but we get fined.
I like to imagine we're sitting in the cab having a little chat.
But you're not there. Oh.
That's because I'm the ghost of a prostitute you murdered.
But you're not laying on the bed. On the cabin bed, which we won't need to use because we'll be there in 3 hours.
Really?
Not real hours, in-game hours. And actually, we're making time. Oh no, we've lost time. We're making time. Reckons we'll get there at 5 past 5.
I realise I only have 1, 2, 3 topics left. I better save them.
You better save some, yeah.
Yeah, so bad it's good films.
I think given the choice, I'd rather just make a good film.
I've often thought about making a movie. Like if I had like a huge amount of money, I probably would. You know, like why not?
I would, but it'd probably end up being a porno.
I've talked about what just accidentally, like you
Yeah,
try and
like he wouldn't be intentionally as one. It'd be like I, mean, I don't know.
try
I'm
to
trying
make
to
a
figure some.
highbrow art film, and before you know it, oh shit, I've made a porno.
Oh, people are going to jerk off to it, aren't they, Ben?
You can't help yourself, can you?
You know, and I tried really hard. Maybe I shouldn't have put the subtitles on.
Hmm. Um,
Because that's a
yeah, I mean,
reference to yeah.
what is it?
Yeah, but subtitling. It's captioning, isn't it? It's
Oh right.
it's just
When I've talked about it before, I've often thought how wonderful it would be to have like to be part of an Ed Wood, you know, group, um, and just make movies and even act in a few. Not well. It
no, I
would be
can't act well.
very cool. I wouldn't mind doing that one day, to be honest.
Well, Ben, when I finally become the porn magnate with all the millions,
Can
then
I be the one who tells the gang of babysitters that a sexual maniac is on the loose and then leaves?
yes, why not?
Hmm.
You'll be there just before all the action.
And then I'll say goodbye, and then I'll cash my check and walk out.
Now, ladies, you enjoy your pillow fight. Don't work up too much of a sweat.
You are so cliche.
No, because you mentioned babysitters and a killer on the loose. What else am I meant to
I
go?
don't fucking know.
Won't somebody think of a children? Well, no, you probably shouldn't think of a
No.
children.
Jesus.
But Ben, the phone call was coming from inside the house.
Hmm.
Anyway, I mean that is a bit awkward. Oh my god, no! What are we gonna do, Ben? What are we gonna do?
I mean, what we're gonna do?
What are we gonna do? We're meant to stick to the left, and it's we did it.
You deserve that.
Who deserved what?
You deserve that little fine. Did
I
you get
didn't
fined?
No, I didn't get fined
Why'd it go beep 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 beep?
because I was pressing the horn.
All right. Oh, okay. I thought that sounded like a what do you call it? Not a Morse code,
Siren.
a telegram thing. The way you push that, like it was printing off a little ticker tape thing.
Oh, one thing it is in this, and you won't. I don't know if there are any nearby for us to look at. These things on the map, they're actually monuments, real landmarks that you can take pictures of. And if you take a picture of them, you get like it marks off that you've done it.
Yeah, I don't think our driver looked like the touristy type.
I mean, once you got to do it whilst driving down the road, Ben. So
He looks like the type to get caught in a theatre with his pants down.
hey, it was that kind of movie. I directed it. I would know.
What, the Bourne Identity?
No, it's the yeah. I can't think of anything yet. But
The Bourne Identity.
No, it's too obvious. You got to go for something a bit more subtle.
Do you?
Yeah. People
Yes,
like
because there's one thing porn titles famously are, it's subtle.
No, but that's the thing. That's how you distinguish yourself. That's how you convince people in the first place that it's actually meant to be highbrow. Is that you take it seriously and come up with a subtle title, and then they start watching it. And, oh shit, this is porn.
But by then it's too late because they've already paid for the ticket.
Exactly. I mean, who's going to walk out of a movie cinema and demand a refund? Also, do refunds get counted?
I don't know.
Like, do they take a ticket off if someone demands a refund? Oh, I got a fine for that.
But as Mark Commode said, if you want to know what people think of a movie, charge them on the way out. You know?
I mean, you wouldn't pay anyway, would you? Even if you liked.
Well, yeah. I mean, the point stands. Like,
Oh, I get the
I
point.
don't think he was being serious. I just think it's just because a movie sells loads, that's a testament to the marketing rather than anything else.
Or the hype of the sometimes you don't even have to fucking market a movie and it'll do well because it's part of a bloody series that everyone just fucking watches. I don't think you necessarily have to market a Marvel movie these days.
No, you don't.
Oh, we're crossing back into the Netherlands. That reminds me. Oh, I almost didn't have a Formula One topic this week.
Oh, is this the crash?
What
Is this
crash?
the guy who got injured on holiday?
Oh, I don't know. Who got injured on holiday?
One of your men.
No,
I'm
it was
sure you mentioned him. He hurt himself. He broke his face or something.
no. Don't know who we're talking about. Oh, Lando Norris.
Yeah,
Oh, you know
Lando.
what? I have seen pictures of him with what looked like medical tape on his face. So maybe that
Mm.
is that. I
Yeah.
just assumed they were old pictures. No, I hadn't heard about that. That wasn't
Mm.
what I was. I've got actual news, like proper something worth talking about.
All right, go on. I'll put my feet up.
Adrian Newey. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
He was until very very recently the main engineer guy behind car design and stuff at Red Bull.
Where's my phone? Oh, there it is. Yeah, go on.
And when I say until very recently, it's been announced that he's leaving at the start of next year.
He never is.
He will be. And the thing is, he is widely regarded as quite possibly the best Formula One car designer of all time.
Hmm.
And he's leaving the team that currently are on a it's either a 2 or 3 year championship streak. Their main driver, Max Verstappen, is on he's trying for his 4th title in a row.
Hmm.
So it seems a very odd time for him to leave. Turns out it's all connected to Christian Horner and his scandals of late, which I remember was talking about at the time, where he was apparently texting one of his
Oh yeah,
or
him.
one of his subordinates inappropriately. Christian Horny, people are calling him, because they're not very inventive or subtle. But yeah, so that's kind of a big deal in Formula One. Not right now, but at some point in the not too distant future, as far as the sports season is concerned, like it's next season. But that's not all. Apparently, there are rumours that Mercedes, who are recently, not this year, but recently the biggest competitor to Red Bull, apparently they have put in a massive £150 million offer for Max Verstappen, the current world champion. Which, oh shit! I just turned the engine off. Which seems ridiculous.
That was silly. Why'd you do that?
Because I accidentally pressed the wrong button, thinking I was turning on the indicator.
All right.
Which I then turned off. Whoops. It's fine. No one cares. No one's watching.
I am. Well, sort of.
So anyway, point is, this is quite a big thing to shake up Red Bull. Like if they lose Max Verstappen, then they've not got their lead driver. And okay, fine. Last year their other driver came second, but it was a lot tighter than it needed to be. Him coming second. If they lose their car designer and they lose their top man, and they're not they might not be signing on the guy they've got at the moment because he seems to be fighting for his job as it goes. Then we're in a big old situation where Red Bull might not be the dominant force that they have been. And that would be interesting. And now I don't see Max Verstappen going to Mercedes because Mercedes have been shit lately, and I think everyone who with a sense of understanding of the sport knows that. It seems like one of those news stories that's come out for the sake of. I feel like maybe someone's leaked it for the sake of causing a bit of fuss. You know? Oh, we've been here before. We parked at this one last time.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. I'm not.
Nice to come back.
I'll do a nice easy one. They invited us back then.
Oh, that's lovely. You can poorly park again.
There we go. Job done. We made €5,000 out of that. Or we're meant to have. Oh no, €3,629. The 5,000 was how many we've got. We now have €9,000. Look at us! Aren't we happy? How much does it cost to buy a truck? So anyway, yeah. So that's a big old thing.
Well.
And you know, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, you like the F1, don't you?
I do like the F1. There's a race this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. It's
Oh,
in Miami, and there's something special about that. Could you hazard a guess as to what it is?
Not
special in terms of the sport itself. Special to me.
Are they going to open with a firing squad? don't know, like putting an alligator in one of the cars and you have to guess which it is.
Nope.
I don't know.
It's for Miami was the first race I watched last year when I got back into it.
Ah.
So I have effectively been watching for a whole year. So yeah, that's kind of a thing, isn't it? You know, that's not something to turn your nose about. Oh, hang on, just look at this a sec on the mini map.
Yeah, I'm looking on the mini map. Yeah.
So if we follow the sat nav, need to turn right. Yeah. Which means
Yeah.
that this section of road, in this corner of road where we haven't been to yet because we went to the other depot, is going to stay marked off as not driven on because we've not driven on it, and that's the silly little thing that makes for filling up the map a pain in the ass.
Because there's that little bit of corner.
There's that little bit of corner, but quite rightly we've not driven on.
You'd have to revisit. Is it like a free play mode? Can you just drive wherever you want, really?
Yeah, once you own your own truck, you can. And that's how I cleaned up Switzerland before. Was I just went for a drive to.
By the time someone cleaned up Switzerland.
Yeah, those bloody Swiss people. But yeah, no, I figure those are two big F1 stories. £150 million per year for a driver.
Bloody G Willikers.
I'd do it for half of that if I were interested.
I'd do it for free.
No, you wouldn't.
I would. I mean, I can't drive. I'm just sitting in a car getting booed at for an hour and a half. How long do these things last?
Well, it depends. If there's safety cars and stuff, it could be getting on for 2 hours.
Okay, I mean, I can probably spare that time. Can I bring a book?
I wouldn't recommend it. There was an AI race actually.
Was there really?
Yeah, you should probably look it up because you'll be able to see it better than I will. Because you might even get some footage. But cars that were controlled by AI driving against each other on the I can't remember what it was. It was the Yas Marina circuit, I think it was. Which always makes me want to say Yas Queen whenever I hear it. But the Yas Marina circuit, and they, I think it's Bahrain. It's either Bahrain or Abu Dhabi. I always mix them two up.
Abu Dhabi do.
And it was a bit of a shambles. I think there was 4 cars in the end that made it into the race. One of them tried an overtake span and they had to red flag the race. Another one basically did the same thing, and then there was an overtake, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, it was a bit. It was a very weird thing to have seen. I didn't even check my mirrors before I indicated before I moved.
You're not very safe. Are you?
I know the limits. Look at him, he's speeding up the road, isn't he?
I'm sure you do.
Look, I'm the one of us. Oh shit! That actually drives.
Really? 'Cause, I mean, it sounded sort of like you were in a bit of trouble there.
No, it's only €120. Basically, it's a license to do it. We've got loads of euros. We've got €8,997. We could do that 10 times over. And then more. We could do that like 60, 70 times over. Right, let me get out my calculator and do that. Very quickly. 8,997 divided by 120.
Have you got your eyes on the road?
74 times over, Ben. Let me just lean over and put my calculator away. Oh shit! Actually, I didn't mean to knock my mouse.
We swerve violently.
See, you're gonna laugh at this, but when I was driving through Switzerland on my other save, obviously Switzerland, as you no doubt know from having seen it, is quite a windy mountainous area.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So all it takes is for you to just stop paying attention very briefly, and you could end up flying off a cliff. And I did have a great idea a few times, but sadly I never did get the gold off the bus.
Yeah.
Also, that would have been northern Italy, wouldn't it? But still, you know. You have to actually go through the mountains, but you know. I would say that there is distinct differences between each country as you go through them. But each country basically looks the same. So we're leaving France now, yeah?
God.
I think we're leaving France to go into... Is that Germany? Looks like Germany. We're going to Cologne.
I reckon our guy probably wears either too much or too little of that.
No, we're in Belgium first, and we're going through Belgium. Probably wears too much, thinking it's too little. What do you do for lunch when you're at work? Do you take a pack up, or do you?
I don't.
You don't lunch?
I don't lunch. There are exceptions. For example, we have Biscuit Wednesdays. We're quite good at snacky foods in the team I'm in.
Okay.
We'll have buffets when people leave. Nice spread.
Oh, hang on. This time going through here has picked up the service stations, but sometimes it won't. So sometimes you'll have to go through the service station on your way through to pick up the road, and sometimes the little bits of service station won't get picked up, so you'll have to go through it like 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I will sometimes have that, and you know, if it's during the summer or half term, I'll often wander down to Tesco's and get a meal deal. But as a rule, I don't eat lunch.
Well,
I don't get hungry. I've got my vapes, and I like to think I save a bit of money. What do you do?
generally speaking, I nip to Greg's,
Mm.
which does add up, but a lot less so now that I'm being more careful about what I eat. But every Thursday, I order in because it's convenient. And it is last week I described it as my guilt-free pizza.
Where you order in lunch or dinner?
No, dinner, because I like for tea. But I do. If I made myself a chicken salad flatbread for lunch today. I did for the last 3 days actually, because I had 6 of a little flatbread thing, so I thought I'd make 2 each day. And it was a chicken tikka chicken, like a tikka chicken, with a mango chutney as well.
I have a question.
God,
How much did you spend on my birthday present?
I've not actually paid for the damn thing yet, but
How much are you, what's what ballpark figure?
at what point would you become uncomfortable?
Well, I had an idea of how much I was going to spend on you, but I don't want to overdo it.
Okay, so I've not been able to go with my original idea. I'm going to tell you what I was thinking I was going to get you when I was sure I knew it was the other day.
Okay, all right.
I was going to get you a model of DS9. But
okay.
the only one I could see that I could probably get to you, it's A, it looks like you need to assemble it yourself. B, you have to paint it yourself.
No.
And C, some people have been critical of it in the opinion pieces, which I don't normally read, but I had a little look anyway because it matters.
Do you research?
So I decided not to do that. That would have been about 65 quid.
Okay, that was sort of where I was looking at 60.
The thing that I'm leaning towards now, I think it depends on whether I get 1 or 2. And I think it'll be 40 for 1, 70 for 2.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll go with my original thought, which was about 60.
I mean,
and see if I can find.
Spend a fucking tenner on me for all I care. The key is,
No, you're worth it.
Aww.
Not in a sex way.
Maybe no. Hang on. That's maybe I was born with it. That's not right. What's because you're worth it? What's that?
L'Oreal.
Ah, of course.
Garnier is Take Care, because it's from that Mitchell and Webb sketch with Mr. Garnier's laboratoire, which is the most advanced laboratoire in the world, and they figure out a cure for cancer. He's like, no, this is about hair.
Yes,
we're not wasting time with cures for cancer.
Oh, it would be so nice if they had a. Oh, actually, that's a point. An episode of Buffy that I was watching earlier had someone trying to cure cancer by getting turned into a vampire.
I'd do it.
They were trying to cure their own brain tumour by being turned into a vampire whilst they were still young and pretty.
Oh.
Why
ever not?
Rather than 6 months from now when they were, dead and,
But surely, if you're bitten by a vampire, I don't know. If you're missing a leg and you get bitten by a vampire,
you've
does your leg grow back?
No, you've lost your leg. You haven't got a leg.
Okay, but it will heal your brain tumor.
I don't know. Point is, I think he just doesn't want to die from it. In 6 months, he was like 17 years old, so I get it. He did get turned. Spoiler alert. But
Yeah.
he then immediately got staked.
Oh, that's sad.
He got buried, thinking that
Yeah.
he was dead. He jumped out of his grave mid-conversation that was going on, staked immediately, and then the conversation just carried on around. Like, as if nothing had happened. There was this whole thing about how it was one of Buffy's mates from where she lived before she moved to Sunnydale, and she was talking about how, you know, she wished that she didn't hate it, that she could just hate him, because then it would be easier to say goodbye to him. Because he tried to sell her out to the bad guys, so that he could get turned, like a trade thing. He was going to hand her over so that he could be turned and join them. And she was like, it would be so much easier if I could just hate him. I'm getting on quite. I'm about halfway through season 2 now.
You're getting through it, aren't you?
It helps that I cycled for like 2 episodes today and then watched another one whilst I had big tea. I could have watched a 4th one, but I didn't know how long you were going to be, so I switched to YouTube. I should have just watched another episode. But we live and we learn.
Hey ho. Hey ho.
The cycling for 2 episodes is what makes it a guilt-free pizza.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Whoa.
We didn't need to take.
You hit that sign.
No, we didn't.
Yes, you did.
We didn't
I should
get fined.
report you.
We didn't get fined.
Bloody should have done.
Right, we're nipping into Germany. Have you ever been to Germany?
No.
I have. Not this part of Germany.
Gesundheit. Where'd you go? Berlin? Hamburg?
Hamburg, yeah.
Was it nice?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Very, very communist blog.
Would you go back?
Oh, absolutely. I'd probably want to spend more time
Live there.
exploring it a bit.
You were talking
we
about
haven't got the
moving
lights.
there.
Oh god, I can't remember what button to turn the lights on.
Is there an owner's manual?
Yeah,
Should
of
have check the glove box, glove compartment, whatever.
Lights are on. And you can tell because the light mode on the... I'm pointing to it with my finger, that doesn't help. On the dashboard, just in front of a little picture of the truck, you can see the little indicator to say that we've got the lights on. And if I do that, you can see the indicator to the right, which I'm not going to do because of the car there. And if I do that, you can see the indicator to the left. So they've put a lot of effort into making this, you know... There are people who will play this game with a proper driving sim rig and mirrors and everything, and they'll take it 100% seriously. One of the online communities takes it incredibly seriously. That's why the radio station that I started listening to, they have traffic reports for the online multiplayer server.
Oh,
I know.
that's actually really good. That's really really interesting and really nerdy.
It really is. I've not played multiplayer. I don't think I want to. I don't think they'd like me very much for it.
No. You see, when Yard Crucial played this, he mentioned that this was a quintessential dad game because there's so much DLC and stuff that costs like thousands of pounds.
I got a lot more DLC than I intended to.
Yeah. That
I can go to Greece.
It's basically the modern equivalent of a train set in the basement. You know?
Or, if you're Rod Stewart, the attic. Or the shed.
Pete Waterman likes his trains, doesn't he? Is Pete Waterman still about? Probably.
Pete Waterman.
The music producer.
Oh,
Who's Kylie.
probably. I don't know.
You know, I would be... Lucky was written in like half an hour.
I mean, it helps that most of the words are...
Just lucky.
I should be so lucky.
Lucky.
I should be so lucky in love. Lucky.
Right, let's have that another 5 times. And we'll rattle off a couple of verses.
I feel so lucky to be in love. Yes, I'm so lucky to be in love.
What's your favourite band, would you say?
Probably Dire Straits.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Money for nothing, eh?
I mean, I like the guitar work. I think the song itself is a bit poor compared to some of their other stuff. It bothers me that they never had a number one single. They had a number one album, but you know,
What's the other stuff that you like?
from them.
Yeah.
Well, I quite like Romeo and Juliet. I'm a big fan of Wild West End.
Mm.
Brothers in Arms is quite good. Private Investigations has got some decent lyrics. Telegraph Road is like a 14.5 minute song, which I really like, with some interesting music and some interesting lyrics to it.
Mm.
Industrial Disease is a political song, which I think touches on a few themes that are prevalent today still, even though the song came out in like 84, 83, 84.
Mm.
Quite like Sultans of Swing. Badgers, Posters, Stickers, T-shirts is a good song. Although technically I think it classifies as jazz, which makes me uncomfortable as per previous conversations.
Why did it make you uncomfortable?
I just don't like jazz. Jazz isn't something I enjoy, but I know that that's technically speaking. I'm pretty sure it's a jazz song. It feels like a jazz song.
Hmm.
But like the underlying theme behind the song, it amuses me enough. The premise is that someone is talking to a band that they have just seen perform a gig, and they want to know if they've got any badges, posters, stickers, or T-shirts, and they're quite northern, so they're like, so there's a sort of northern conversational tone to the entire thing, and they're just obviously badgering the bloody band members, and they get a pint out of it. And I don't know, it's just something about the whole thing just amuses me. But like, there's stuff I like on every single one of her albums, and I have I think I've got 4 of their 6 or 7. I think I might actually have everything from 85 and earlier, and if I don't, I'm only missing 1 or 2. So I know I've got the eponymous album. I've got Making Movies. I've got Private Investigations / Love Over Gold. I've got Brothers in Arms, and I've got Communicator. No, I think I've got all of them before. All the studio albums from up to Brothers in Arms, and they got shit after Brothers in Arms. Just wasn't as good. And I was about to say, and I think Ben's disappeared briefly and knew that I could just keep entertaining for a while.
No, I'm still here.
Were you trying to think of presents? Because if you're thinking of getting me Dire Straits vinyl, I would recommend against it, because I think I've got all the ones I would want.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
Almost went over the line. I think we've got time for one more job after this one.
Okay, how many topics you got?
A few. I need to cross them off, but it's quite difficult for me to cross them off whilst I'm driving.
Crashing into things.
Not crashed into anything since that sign, thank you very much. And I dispute whether I crashed into that. I don't know how true this is, but this is a story that will touch on what I believe is your favourite story of the year so far, unless that's changed.
Which was either... Oh wait, no, Titan Sub was last year, wasn't it?
It was.
It's either the Willy Wonka thing, or Elaine Chow's sister drowning in that Tesla.
It's a Willy Wonka thing.
Okay. The lighter of the two.
Pardon?
The lighter of the two.
There is, from so far as I can understand it, an LA remaking. They've remade it in LA.
Who is this?
I don't know. I don't know, but apparently they did it again in LA. They got the Oompa Loompa girl in.
So they've deliberately remade the shitty one.
They have remade it, and it did look quite shit, but somehow better than the original that they were taking the piss out of.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
I would recommend you look it up, because I saw I got sent like a minute and a half long TikTok about it. Maybe not even that long. That's it. That's all I saw. But if it seems like the kind of thing that either it was a joke and they've managed to get a few people in on it, or they've actually redone it.
I think they've actually redone it because it was hugely meme worthy, wasn't it?
It was hugely meme worthy.
Which, you know, is sort of the whole point.
Sorry, I've just been sent a thing that I'm gonna.
Yeah, I mean, the Oompa Loompa lady's doing really, really well.
She is. I feel bad for everyone else involved in the thing that isn't doing really well, but should. But I don't know. What do we want? What do we want? What do we
I
want?
mean,
I value cargo. Email. I'm listening.
Sorry, I stumbled upon something. Hang on.
Oh, we're doing this one. It's nearly £8,000 to transfer something from Cologne to Amsterdam. Let's do it. It's an expensive load as well. Looking like a big, heavy load.
Sorry, I got distracted by this sexual abuse thing.
What sexual abuse thing?
Well, apparently, author and TV presenter Richard Osman has claimed that the identity of the sexual abuser in the new Netflix series Baby Reindeer is known to people in the television industry. Now, I read this, and I think I skim. I'm a very poor skimmer, because I skimmed that and immediately read it as somebody was sexually abusing reindeer, and it was somebody it was somebody famous.
Yeah, it's a TV show, isn't it? About his real life experiences with a stalker.
Yeah.
And other things. This is going to be a nightmare to transport. I regret taking this on already. Hang on, just pay attention to what's going on here, Ben. We need to stay between the two cars.
Right? Lol.
So
why?
Because they are basically our guide to make sure that we don't crash into shit.
Because it's important.
Yeah, it's like it's a really valuable load. So what's going to happen is the car behind us is going to change lane first, so that we can change into the lane. Then the car in front of us is going to change into lane, and then we're going to change in and stay between them.
Okay.
That's how we do it. Look what we're transporting.
Cheese.
It is a big old block of cheese.
Is it really?
No, it's not a big old block of cheese. I don't know what it is.
What is it? Some sort of plutonium?
I'm sure it'll tell us when we get there. But this is the thing. We need to stay between. We need to basically stay in lane behind that car in front of us.
Looking forward to that.
Or staying in lane behind this car in front of us, or eating this big block of cheese. I mean, it's wider than a lane, so you know.
Alright, let's have a look at this reindeer thing.
It's a TV show that just doesn't interest me.
Well, I hardly. Well, I'm sure we'll find out in 20 years when they've died.
Probably. Oh my god, we're just ignoring the road, the light. Oh, I thought we weren't going to make it. But we made it. This is exciting, Ben.
Is it? How far have we got to go?
From Cologne to Amsterdam. 271 kilometres.
Oh.
We'll get this done, and then in terms of real time, it's probably about 20 minutes to half hour.
Okay.
Oh Christ! Which would take us to 1 minute 45 recording. There were 10 minutes before we of recording before we started, and then like 2 minutes we need to cut out. So it'll be about an hour and a half. So yeah, the Willy Wonka thing.
1 minute 45, did you say? Or did you mean 45 minutes?
I said all in all it'll be an hour 45 of video, minus the 10 minutes I need to cut and the few minutes before that as well.
Alright. Okay. I can't believe we've been doing this longer than Call of the Wild. That felt much longer.
No, we haven't yet.
Yeah.
We will have been by the time this is finished, and it will feel like we've been doing it for longer then. Oh, it really needs to go on the main road. I said it's funny you mentioned Richard Osman actually, because he's vaguely connected to a topic that I've got. In fact, the information that I want to discuss, I got from him on TikTok.
I'm sorry, I'm just watching this. You know, I don't know. I don't think you can reclaim the magic of that moment, which was just.
We
Yeah,
on
it's
Willy
still
Wonka.
it's still my favourite news story of the year so far, and I don't think it will be topped.
It's gonna.
To be honest.
She is absolutely going to end up on Big Fat
Big
Quiz of
fat
the Year.
quiz. She'll be the girl. Of course, she fucking will. Or maybe she'll just be asked to come on and do a question because at this point she probably is so famous.
Yeah, maybe the unknown might end up
Probably.
there instead.
That's
Or
the
something.
weirdest. That's so fun. That's the lack of effort put put into put into it was just amazing. And what the fuck? Very, I don't know. But yeah, Richard Osman. What's he been up to then, eh?
Well, he does a podcast with someone or other who I don't
Mm,
know by name, and I just happened to be scrolling through TikTok prior to us starting to talk tonight,
yeah.
and he was talking about 10 years to save the West.
Oh, that.
Are you familiar with 10 years to save the West? I'm assuming so, based on that reaction.
That's Liz Truss trying to present herself as somebody serious.
That's
And
Liz
then,
Truss trying to milk her very brief period of time in as prime minister,
yeah,
isn't it?
it's like it's technically in the bestseller list, but it's only sold like 2,000 copies, something like that.
Well, that's the thing. They reckon it was 2,200 copies, and it's in a bestseller list depending on what the fucking list is, because like he was saying that there's so many lists that there's almost always going to be something that you're at the top of. If you break it down enough, you will be at the top of something. So you could call anything a bestseller based on that.
In terms of books by former prime ministers.
Well, I think it's probably not even best-selling list of that one. I think it was political biographies was the thing,
Okay.
which and
Some,
for a particular week, it was the bestseller or something,
Ugh.
which doesn't necessarily mean anything. It had outsold that particular week something by Rory Stewart, which had done incredibly well, and was released a year ago. So it's not really a valid competition, is it? Like,
he seems like a wanker.
there's worse politicians out there by far. Like he seemed
Like Goebbels, yeah, alright.
he seemed enough on the level at the time, to be honest with you, compared to the other people around him. I can't help but think how much better things would have gone if we had the omni shambles that was known as Ed Miliband.
Yeah, I sort of miss chaos with Ed Miliband, to be honest.
You know, things were chaotic, but somehow less so back then.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Liz Truss's book just makes me sort of. It's just such a fucking nothing. It's just loads of boo woke, isn't it? There's nothing of fucking substance in that.
No. Apparently, the other people that are buying her book are buying something about COVID being a lie and the next great revolution with Alex Jones or something. And these aren't people that are sensible people.
It's such a damning condemnation of our politics that we've got. Well, a former prime minister who is so clearly trying to get onto the anti-woke grind. It's like Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson's been fairly quiet. I mean, Boris Johnson hasn't gone this far, I don't think. But
no.
It's just like.
Did you see the clip of her on American TV?
No, I try and avoid her. I try to avoid all of them.
I tried to avoid it. It turned up anyway. They introduce her, and immediately she says, "And here's my book," which she holds up backwards and upside down.
Oh, I think You know, it would. You know, it's like a lot of things. It would be funny if it wasn't happening in our time.
It'd be funny if it wasn't a representation of us as a nation. The only
This would
thing,
be fucking hilarious if it was
the only,
just.
the only saving grace, as far as I'm concerned, is that she wasn't elected in a proper election, right? Which means that we can't justifiably say that she was representative of the country. She represented the country, but she wasn't necessarily representative of the country.
No. It reminds me a bit of Veep. Because I don't know whether you're fully aware of Veep, but Veep is the American version of The Thick of It, and it's about Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, Selena Meyer, who is the vice president. And the president resigns, so she becomes president, and then she loses an election, and she's out. And a lot of the following series is about her discussing her presidential library, even though she was only technically president for like a couple of months. You know, it's that like her like technically I was president and I should be treated as such. It's that sort of thing.
I mean, I can understand the mentality behind it because if you were president, then fucking you should be treated as president. And in that sort of circumstance, it's not necessarily her fault that you didn't keep the job, right? It's not like I'm assuming she didn't tank the economy with one interview or one speech or whatever it was.
Later in the series, well, during her time as president, her one big accomplishment is that she frees Tibet.
That's quite a big deal.
Yeah, when you say that, but in desperation to get back into office, she makes a deal with China to give Tibet back as long as they interfere on her side and help her win, which they do. So she was remembered as the president who briefly freed Tibet. And in the last,
that would have been a big deal.
I know, it was her one great accomplishment. And in the last episode, there's a flash. The gist of it is that she basically alienates all the people who have been supporting her, and she finds herself. She becomes president again, but she's completely alone. And the last scene is her funeral, and it's said that she lost the election, and her successors were far more successful, and that's really her only big accomplishment. And on the day of her funeral, the guards struggle to get her casket into her mausoleum, and then Tom Hanks dies, so the news immediately switches to that. Jesus and that is her legacy. That I love Veep. I think Veep is better than The Thing, in all honesty. Yeah.
You're not an epileptic, are you?
No.
Good.
Though I did have a fit once when I was younger.
Sometimes you're a fit if I say something funny.
I think it was stress or poor diet. I just sort of collapsed.
Oh, I know I talk about it quite a lot, but you've reminded me of the one notable dietary reaction that I've seen. Like the one thing, other than losing a bit of weight, I've identified what other actual tangible change has come out of my exercising and dieting.
Okay.
My shits are normal. Not the shits themselves, but the quantity of them.
I knew it was going to be that.
I used to be like a 3... used to be like a 3, maybe 4 a day kind of guy. Right? Wow. But I'm now, it's 1, very, very rarely 2.
Well, that's very great news for the boys and girls at home.
That's a big deal.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Although it does sound like exactly the sort of thing our driver profile would be discussing. Casually.
Oh, absolutely.
Presumably pausing for a burp every now and then.
We can look out the window if you want.
Yeah, I think Yards Croshaw compared that to a dog looking out the window. Going panting along.
Go, 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 drive, motherfucker, drive! Oh, I've lost sound again. I didn't even notice. It's depressing. Right, now it's raining. So yeah, 10 years to Safer West. It's a ridiculous title, isn't it? But
it's just one of those clickbaity titles. It's just our political discourse has just fucking collapsed.
It really is.
You know, there used to be. I mean, I'm not saying there weren't always like self-serving politicians. Hell, that they didn't even comprise the majority. I think they probably always did, but there was a certain. It's the morality of it isn't necessarily new, but it's such a cheap, common thing to do.
Mm.
You know, to appeal to the lowest common denominator to earn a bit of cash. You know, I don't think
Oh, maybe I should become a politician then.
few, fewer politicians would have done that in the old days. I think
I'm already halfway there, Ben. I just need to get a bit of political clout behind me, and then here we go.
the quality of the electorate is, I guess, worse. I don't know. I'm so tired of it all. I really am. Reading 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea made me realize. I mean, I always sort of suspected based on what I knew of the character, but I think Captain Nemo is going to turn into something of a a figure that I have an awful lot in common with. You know, he got himself off from the rest of the world, and as far as he's concerned, nothing is happening up there, and he hasn't got any new. You know, all his newspapers are very old because he bought loads, and then he just went under the sea, and he doesn't have any communication, and he doesn't know what's going on up there. He just keeps to himself in a beautiful, tranquil ocean where no other human being is. And honestly, that sounds fucking great. I'd love to do that.
You'd get bored.
No, I wouldn't.
You would.
You think that I wouldn't? I really fucking wouldn't.
You don't own anywhere near enough games to not get bored.
You give me internet access.
Although, to be fair, you own another game now. Or you will have if you've claimed that key.
I haven't. Yeah, you give me
fucking
internet.
should. Do you know how much that game's worth if you buy it right now off Steam?
How much?
About 70, 80 quid.
What is it?
Humankind.
Oh, that is it. Is that the one where you're a monkey?
No, that's different one.
Oh, right. Yeah, I would. If I had the internet, I'd be so fine. You've no idea, and just like a crew of robots, I could quite happily do that.
Nah, I think you'd get bored.
No, I wouldn't. I promise. I assure you, I wouldn't.
The fact that you would need the internet access tells me that you couldn't do it. Because you've already one step. Like you've already.
Well, okay. I say internet. I say internet. Yeah, just. I don't know. Fine. No. Well, give me a little bit of internet. Block most of the sites if you must, but
no porno for you.
yeah, I could just write and just sort of, I could make my videos and just never think about it ever again, and just, oh, it sounds wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Just get away from it all. I've told you sometimes when I'm lying in bed. Do you know what I think about?
You have, and I wish you wouldn't keep telling me.
I like to imagine I've got a spaceship. What the fuck have you done?
The bloody van kept slowing down, and I kept slowing down, and then it kept speeding up, and then it kept slowing down, and I mistimed it. I mistimed the speed.
When I'm in bed, I imagine I'm on a spaceship, and I'm the only human being in the universe.
Do you still use your noise thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'm the only human being in the universe, or even the only living thing in the universe. And that's the closest I come to peace, really, in life.
This is a really tight bit of driving we've got to do here.
Well, it's a good thing you're shit at it.
I couldn't take the fine for just cancelling the job because we can't afford it. So it would have cost us €15,000.
Oh.
I know. We've only got 14,000.
Oh.
We'd have 14.5, but I've had a few collisions. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I do. I point them out regularly.
And that's annoying as well because the roses are right here, so we've got to be really good. How's textbook going up there though?
Yeah, you certainly went that corner properly, didn't you?
No, but the thing is, I can do it seriously. I don't feel like I need
Choose
to.
not to. You stopped.
I know I've stopped, but I've stopped because he's stopped.
Why is he? I said he stopped. Why is he stopped?
Because we're waiting for the other one.
Fuck's sake.
I know.
Just sat in the middle of the road. This isn't safe.
Well, the road's closed by the cops.
Because you've got a fancy thing.
Yeah. Here
What is it?
I honestly don't know. When we get there, it might tell us. Alright, get a move on. Like, yeah, I can't even hold, can we? I was on Facebook earlier, as you as I sometimes am, just randomly scrolling in between doing things,
Yeah.
and it showed pictures of the main ships from spaceships from the Star
Easy.
Trek series.
Easy. Yes.
So it had for various enterprises, and it had
What is that? Is that full of yogurt or
what
milk?
that thing. I don't know. I can't
Like,
really see.
it looks like a cereal.
Could could be any. Yeah, be a liquid in there, so it's because it's a tanker.
Maybe it's bull semen.
It could well be. Anyway, so this Facebook post it had all the different. Well, I think it was all of them. I think it had all of them. The various starships from the Star Trek series, asking what everyone's favourite of them were, and I've come to the decision that I honestly can't decide if I prefer the Dauntless or the or Voyager.
Well, my favourite, for what it's worth, is the Enterprise off of TNG. Enterprise
So E, isn't it? Or is it
D. D. I
No,
think it's D.
they had both, didn't they? But one of them it changed one of them because
Well,
it was in
Enterprise
the
D
film.
crashed in the film, and they got another one.
Yeah, which became the Enterprise E.
I like the Enterprise D. I think that's a beautiful ship.
The separation's kind of cool,
Yeah.
but I think of all the ships, I think I prefer. It's tight between the Dauntless and the. It's the Dauntless, isn't it? The one from DS9.
No, it's the Defiant.
The Defiant. That's the one I'm thinking. Sorry, don't know where I got Dauntless from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's. I think I prefer the Defiant because it's a more sleek looking ship. I think. I feel like the sort of compact sort of nature of it is something about it just scratches an itch in my brain. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've looked at the Defiant.
It doesn't feel like a Star Trek, like a Federation ship looking at it, but
Well, it's a prototype, isn't it? It was built to fight the Borg.
wow.
Yeah, God, it's bigger than I thought. Yeah, I have to be a basic bitch and say I really like that Galaxy class starship.
Have you ever seen Galaxy Quest?
Yeah, of course.
I thought you would have done. I quite like that film.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman is superb in it.
Did you watch the documentary?
What documentary?
There was a documentary about Galaxy Quest.
No, I don't think so. I don't remember. It's been ages since I've seen a documentary about anything.
Philistine.
Oh, I'm too busy watching vampires trying to go at it with each other. Or, in this case, very inappropriately, high school people.
What?
From Buffy. They're in high school. She's 16 in the first season. And her and Angel are almost a fucking item. They were snogging in her bedroom. It's not one of these episodes I saw today. I mean, that's not on, is it?
No.
He's like 200 odd years old. And there she is. There we go.
Did you do it? What was it?
Oh, it didn't tell us. I thought it would tell us.
I'm going to imagine it was cheese.
Oh, we leveled up again. What should we do this time? Shall we do long distance again, or?
Hang on, I thought we were wrapping it up.
No, this is a skill thing. We spend a skill point.
I don't know. My value cargo? I don't know. You're the expert.
Cargo will give us better rewards for doing the thingy. Long distance means that we'll have to do less deliveries next time because they'll be longer, which means that we can justify. I don't go away, bank. I just want to. I want to see if we can find out what it was because there's like a list of jobs that we've done somewhere. Career. Delivery log. Oh, it was just a high-tech device. Is what that was. A high-tech device. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to point out here, just very briefly, we travelled less distance than the previous journey, but we...
A high-tech device.
A high-tech device. We travelled less distance, but it took us almost an hour longer, and it's almost entirely because of a bastard slowing us down.
Well, you crashed, didn't you?
Well, no, the actual time in-game time.
All right.
Right, let's save it. Oh, lovely stuff. Those guys recording. Save. Alright, so yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for joining us. If you did,
Our driver looks so glum.
It really does.
He looks like he's begging for death.
Just like us. Bye, everyone.
Bye.